section for those high pressure movements. No matter what position you work, reps on the floor 3 times stronger section for any.
With my current training, what I'm doing is going back to how I used to train when it comes to the reps in bodybuilding. How, for instance, if you're training chest, I used to touch my chest and only go 3/4 of the way up just to keep the tension on the pecs. Do the same with the shoulders, and when I can't do any more, then I'll start doing full reps. I found I just get soreness has increased, and I've been doing it with legs, doing like 3/4 reps with legs, bottom end up to the top 3/4, and then back down again, and again I do as many as I can, and then I full rep it. It's 100% working because my body weight, my quads are about 1/4 inch bigger than what it's ever been, and that's by doing that method. And I never used to do that with legs. I only started doing it with legs about 4 months ago because my knees were hurting, and I'm actually going to stick to it because it's definitely working. So if you haven't done it, give it a go. So make sure you do the bottom of the movement, not these half reps at the top, because that's just a waste of time. But you're going from the bottom of the rep up to about 3/4, do as many as you can, and then lock it out, or just before you lock out. Do it with shoulders, yeah, like I said, chest, all pressing movements. You can do it with dumbbells as well. And yeah, and legs is the best. Leg sleds, leg presses, You could do it with hack squats. That would hurt with hack squats. And even squats as well, but it's pretty difficult with squats, especially if you're going reasonably heavy. I can do it light, but once you go heavy, you just can't do it. You have to do full reps. But yeah, if you haven't done it, give it a go. Yeah, another thing, when it comes to training, I train. I was fortunate enough, at the age of 16, I was trained by a guy by the name of Brian Fletcher. That was my first proper training session. Brian opened up Fletcher's, and he also run the chain BC the Body Club. I mean, it was decades ago, so people might not remember it. But that was my first ever proper training session. So, and Brian believed in intensity and low sets. He kind of like, his philosophy come from kind of like Mike Mentzer, and you see the way Dorian Yates trained. So that was my first introduction to weight training. So I was really privileged, really, to have this knowledge straight away. So I kind of like stuck to that principle. I did deviate away in my early 20s. When I started getting into bodybuilding, was on a bit of gear as well. So what happens then? You can train, you can do more sets than that and recuperate. Obviously, when you're not on gear, you just can't do that same amount of intensity. Well, you can go as intense, but you just can't keep it going. So, for instance, when I train now, I'll do like only 1 to 2 working sets. Like for shoulders, I just did a full out set and then another full out set with a drop set, right? On the occasion, I'll do 3 sets. I do 3 sets for quads, but that being said, because I reckon intensity is way better than volume, but it only works for a certain amount of people. So all the people I've trained, there's only been a handful of people I would have said it's going to be productive for because they had that intensity to train. The average person just doesn't have the mindset. They can't push themselves to the extreme. So let's say you're an average person but trains hard, then I'd say, yeah, 3 sets is cool, right? But if you train normal, then you can probably get away with your typical, magazine bodybuilding routine, 4 sets, because if you're not training with that intensity, then you have to really do the volume. But if you can train with absolute intensity and just train like a mad motherfucker, then I recommend 1 to 2 sets, working sets. That's all you need. Just go hard on it, just full out on it, and then I reckon for me, that's the best results, with the exception of I do 3 sets, like I said, on my quads, because I've found that, like I mentioned before, my quads are 1/4 inch bigger at this body weight than they've ever been, and that's because I've actually been doing pre-exhaust sets as well. So I'll be doing leg extensions straight into those 3/4 leg sleds. So really, I'm doing 15 reps on leg extensions and 15 reps on the leg press. So my quads are getting 30 reps, and I'm trying to do 3 sets of that. So yeah, if you haven't tried it and you've got the drive to train really, really intense, 1 to 2 sets is all you need per exercise.